I'm going to go over 3 of the dot books that I've seen in my experience. One that works, and the other 2 do not work. We're going to start with the one that works. The Oxford Index Card Binder. These things are absolutely great. They hold 3x5 index cards. They have dual binder clips, which allows easy access to each of your dots. And then also you can open them up and add pages in with refills, so that way when we get the change in drill, you'll be good to go. Spiral bound dot books are no good. These things do not work well for drum corps. They start out day 1 very well, but then after we start making changes, the ink doesn't erase properly. You start writing over this, it's not going to be legible. We'll get to page 3 in the opener. We start getting on the road, decide we want to add 10 pages to an intro. Your page 3 now becomes page 13. You can't go through and add more pages to get 10 pages of drill on here. It's just not going to work. So you add it to the end. No big deal, right? I know that the intro is at the end of the book until we add a tag to the closer, or we add 5 pages to the ballad. Then you're going to have your page 7 stuck behind page 220 and somewhere in between page 350. Don't buy these things. Homemade dot books, I've never seen any good come from these. You're going to regret having this day 3 when it completely falls apart. My main argument for why to get a binder. When we get up in the Northwest and it's raining constantly, especially on the East Coast, likes to rain a lot there, your dot book's going to get wet. A wet dot book is no fun. This thing gets soaked, it becomes worthless. You can't set it out to dry out. Your pages start to blur together. Your ink starts to run off. This will happen. Then the pages start to fall out. You don't want to have a spiral bound dot book that gets wet. Index card binder, on the other hand, has a protective cover, so it stays relatively dry in the rain. Dry dot book, happy dot book. If anything does get wet, you might have a couple of pages. Replace them with your inserts. Buy the index card binder. A properly completed dot book is an invaluable tool that promotes a productive rehearsal environment. Before we get started, I want to point out that all of this information and more is written down in our field knowledge guide. The drum corps version for my drum corps students will be emailed to you or can be found on our Facebook group. The high school version can be found on our website, www.checkdesigns.com. We're going to pull out the abbreviations section to help us complete our dot book. My index card binder dot book has 2 key additions to it. The first one being a mechanical pencil. Superior to a wood pencil when we get on the field, because if you break your lead, you just pump it a few times, get some more lead out. Also, identification card in the front. You need to write down your name, your instrument, and your drill spot. Put it in a card, put it in the front of your dot book, so that way when we find it on the field, we know how to identify you, and you don't have to go searching for your second dot book. We're going to open up our binder clips, pull out some pages. We'll set that one off to the side. We're going to start by looking at our coordinate sheet. Coordinate sheet, set 1, 0 counts, side 1, on 45-yard line, on the front hash. I'm going to take and divide my page in half. I'll explain why I do this in the next section. So at the top I write page 1, 0 counts because it's opening set, so I don't need to write an account structure or measure numbers. At the top, I put in the side that I stand on, side 1. This is important because there are 2 45-yard lines, but there's only one side 1 45-yard line. Next, I write down the yard line relationship. I am on the 45. After that, my hash relationship. I am on the front hash. Notice the abbreviation there, FH, for front hash. Page 1, completed. Flip it over. Right at the bottom of the page this time. You'll see why here in a second. I write page 2. Page 2, 16 counts, side 2, on the 45-yard line, on the front hash. So at the top here I write 16 counts, and that's going to be measures. In our show it's 4 counts per measure, so that's measures 1 through 4. Start on side 2, on the 45-yard line, on the front hash. I'm done with that one. I could take it, set it to the side. Split my page in half. Start with the page number, page 3. 16 counts. That puts me measures 5 through 8. Page 3, 16 counts, side 2, on the 35-yard line, 16 steps behind the front sideline. So I write down that I'm on side 2. I am on the 35-yard line. 16 steps behind front sideline. I come over here and check this. Behind front sideline, BFSL. So I write 16 BFSL. Leaves me extra room in case I need to draw any pictures or leave notes on there. Flip it over. Start at the bottom. Page 4. Page 4, 16 counts. That puts us measures 9 through 12. Page 4, 16 counts, side 2, on the 35-yard line, 4 steps behind front hash. So I put side 2, on the 35, 4 steps behind front hash. I come over and check my abbreviations. Behind front hash, BFH. 4 BFH. I've got that section completed now. I can take and compile my cards together. Open up my dot book. Put my cards in. Close my dot book. Now, when I go to open up and read my pages, I've got page 1, page 2, and page 3 are both legible because of the way that I wrote the cards, because I started at the bottom. The bottom is now the top when I flip to read the even card numbers. Mid-sets provide us with checkpoints that are extremely useful when cleaning a drill. Things to remember before we get started. Side 1. Side 1 is director's left, also stage right. Side 2, director's right, also stage left. From the front sideline to the front hash is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 steps. We can count the same amount of steps from the front hash to the back hash to the back sideline. Same amount of steps. So it's 28 steps between each marking. It means that the field is split up into thirds. So let's remember that. Side 1, side 2, 28 steps between each marking. To get started on the mid-sets, we're going to remove our dot cards from our dot book. We're going to look at page 1. Page 1 is side 1 on the 45-yard line on the front hash. We're going to mark that down on our drill chart here. Side 1 on the 45 on the front hash. We got a dot. Page 2. Page 2 is 16 counts. Side 2 on the 45 on the front hash. So we'll find side 2, 45-yard line on the front hash. We're going to draw a straight line path between them. Notice 16 counts to get there. Halfway for that would be count 8. I'm going to write down count 8. Now we're going to look at our drill chart. We only have horizontal motion. We have no vertical motion in this drill set. So 16 steps across, half of 16 puts us at 8, 4, 8, which means that our mid-set on count 8, we should be standing on the 50-yard line on the front hash. So we can write that down. On the 50, on the front hash. Page 2 is done. Go ahead and file it in. Page 3, 16 counts. Side 2 on the 35, 16 steps behind the front sideline. So let's go ahead and find that. Side 2, 35-yard line, 16 steps behind the front sideline. 4, 8, 12, 16. We got it in right there. We're going to draw a straight line path to get over there. There's a difference between steps and counts. Counts are the amount of times that your feet move during a drill set. Steps is the amount of steps that you travel across the field. So from the 45 to the 40 is 8 steps. From the 40 to the 35 is 8 steps. Counts are how many times your feet move. Steps is how far you travel. So we have our straight line path drawn here. We need to find a vector just like you would in a math class. The vector, we're going to move across the horizontal first from page 2 to line up to the left to right of page 3. So we stop there on the 35-yard line. Our vector goes across 16 steps. Now we're going to bring it down to the front to back relationship, which is 16 steps behind the front sideline, also 12 steps from the front hash. Now to find the mid set, we're going to divide these in half. We have 16 over, halfway would be 8. We'll draw a line down. Front to back relationship, 12 down, halfway would be 6. We draw a line across. That puts us on the side 2 40-yard line, 6 steps in front of the front hash. So we can write that down. Count 8, side 2, on the 40, 6 in front of front hash. Page 3 is done. Page 4, 16 counts, side 2 on the 35-yard line, 4 behind the front hash. So let's find that dot. We have side 2, 35-yard line, 4 behind the front hash. We're going to draw our straight line path to get back there. We have 4, 8, 12, 16 steps to get back there. Halfway would be count 8. We have 16 steps to come back. Half of 16 is 8. So if we count 4, 8, our midset would be right here on the side 2 30-yard line, 4 steps in front of the hash. So we'll put side 2 on the 35, 4 in front of front hash. FFH. Page 4 is done. We can go ahead and file that one. Page 5, 16 counts, side 2, 4 outside of the 50, on the back hash. So let's find side 2, 4 outside of the 50-yard line, and on the back hash. Puts us back here. I'm going to draw a straight line path to connect them. To find our vector, let's do the front to back first. We're going to draw straight back, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 steps back. Let's go ahead and double check that one. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Now let's do the left to right vector. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 over. So we have 24. I'm going to write that down over 20. Point 1, point 2, 24 back, 20 over. Straight line path to get there. The halfway point would be on count 8. If we travel 24 back, half of that is 12. So we'll draw a straight line over from 12. Left to right is 20 over. Half of that is 10, so we count 4, 8, 10. Draw straight down. And we have our midset. Our midset would be side 2, 2 inside of the 40. Count from the closest hash. 4, 8, 12 in front of the back hash. So let's write that down. Side 2, 2 inside the 40, 12 in front of the back hash. I'm going to go check that one out. Flip it over, find page 6. Page 6, 16 counts. side 1, 2 outside of the 45, 8 in front of the back hash. Side 1, 2 outside of the 45, 8 in front of the back hash, puts us right here. We're going to draw our straight line path to connect them. Let's do the left to right first. We have 4, 8, 12, 14 across, and then 8 down. So the halfway point would be on count 8. Let's see, 14, half of 14 would be 7, so we can count 4, 5, 6, 7, puts us right here. And then half of 8 is 4, goes right across here. Gives us our mid set at 3, side 1 of the 50, so side 1, 3 outside of the 50, 4 in front of the back hash. So we'll write down side 1, 3 out of the 50, 4 in front of the back hash. Page 6 is done. Page 7, 16 counts. Side 1 on the 35-yard line, 4 in front of the front hash. So side 1 is the left side on the 35, 4 in front of the front hash. Let's draw a straight line there. Going to find our vector. We're going to go across 4, 8, 12, 14. Then we're going to come down. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So we have 14. I'll cross that one out so I don't get confused. By 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Halfway there would be count 8. Half of 14 is 7. So we have 4, 6, 7 goes right here. Half of 24 is 12. So we have 4, 8, 12 goes right here. We draw our vector. We have our mid set right here. Side 1, 1 outside of the 40, 8 behind the front hash. So let's write down side 1, 1 outside of the 40, 8 behind front hash. Page 7 is done. Page 8, 16 counts. Side 1 on the 45, 4 behind the front hash. So let's go ahead and find this one. Side 1 on the 45, 4 behind the front hash. Puts us back here. Let's draw our vector. Halfway there would be count 8. Let's find our vector. We go across 16 and then up 8. So we have 16 there, 8 there. Half of 16 is 8, so we have 4, 8. Half of 8 is 4, so we go across there. Our midpoint would be side 1 on the 40-yard line on the front hash. The midset going to the midset going to page 8. Right there. Page 8, done. Go ahead and file it. Page 9, 16 counts, side 1 on the 45-yard line, 16 behind the front sideline. So let's find the side 145. 16 behind the front sideline would be 4, 8, 12, 16. Puts us right here. We can erase this junk to get it out of the way. Here we go. Drawing a straight line path down. 4, 8, 12, 16 counts to get, 16 steps to get there out of 16 counts. So that puts us on count 8 would be our mid set. Half of 16 is 8, so let's do 4, 8. Puts our mid set right there on the 45, 4 steps in front of the front hash. So let's do side 1 on the 45. Four in front, the front hash. Page 9 is done. Page 10. 16 counts, side 1, 3 outside of the 50, on the front sideline. Side 1, 3 outside of the 50, on the front sideline, goes right here. Draw our vector down. Let's see, 16 counts, halfway there would be count 8. Let's draw our vector. We have 4, 8, 12, 16 down, and 5 across. Half of 16 is 8, so we can count that up. 4, 8 goes across there. Half of 5 is 2.5, so let's count 1, 2.5. Draw a straight line path up. So now we have our midpoint would be side 1, 2.5 inside the 45, 8 behind the front side line. So we write that down. Side 1, 2.5 in 45, 8 behind front sideline. There's page 10. Go ahead and file it. And you have all your mid sets.